Hi guys, today's video is another one of my everyday makeup videos, and I think this one is number 12 for the year. I have missed out on the last couple of weeks because there's been new releases, and also I've just been busy with general life things. So I've done all my skincare for the morning, and the last step is sunscreen. And like every video, everything that I'm putting on my face today, including the sunscreen that I use, is listed and linked in the description box below. So we'll start off with primer, and it's probably no surprise, those of you that have seen my videos that I put up last week, that I'm going to be using is the Chanel Beiges, the Healthy Glow Cream, and this is in Rosy Beige. At the date of doing this video, this still has not been released in the United States, and I thought it had been released in Europe, but apparently it hasn't. So this is available in Asian countries, New Zealand, Australia, and it's also just been released in Canada as well. So I've been wearing this every day since I got this, and I absolutely love it. So I have been trialing out between putting on with my fingers like I did in the video when I was reviewing this, and also putting it on with a brush. I do prefer putting this on with my fingers. I just think it helps meld into my skin just that little bit better. But this is almost a miracle product. I think it is gorgeous. So I just apply it on, and I just slowly just sort of massage it in, and you can see just how beautiful it is. I'm not going to go on about it too much, but if you want to take a look at the video where I reviewed this, I will put the link up here so you can take a look. But it is really beautiful. So those of you that haven't seen my other videos, I am 53 years old. I'll be 54 in a couple of months, and I have really oily skin. So I was a bit wary about this product and whether it would actually work, since I have oily skin, but it just works really beautifully. And from the way that it feels, I have a feeling this will work really well with normal to dry skin as well. And before I put on my foundation, I'm just going to put on the NARS corrector. I've been using this for a couple of weeks now, and I really love it. So I just do just a couple of dots because I have quite prominent veins under here, and just a little bit in the inner corner. And the foundation that I'm going to use today is the Dior Forever Natural Nude. This is in 3N. I normally buy Dior foundations in 2.5N. I purchased this, would have been nearly a couple of years ago, and I reviewed it just after I started my channel. And I think maybe that the shade was pretty good then. I'd have to look at the video to see. But I did put this on the other day, and I thought that 2.5N would be better. Although since I changed my skincare about 3 years ago now, and from when I first reviewed this and the first year and a half of using it, I think my skin has got a little bit lighter, but this still looks really lovely. So I'm just going to put a pump and a half on the back of my hand. So this foundation, it sort of looks quite thick, but it gives an absolutely beautiful finish. Now this is more of a radiant type of foundation, and with my oily skin, it's not one that I really reach for in the summer, but now that it's autumn here in New Zealand, heading into winter, this is the perfect type of foundation. And that's one thing I do love about autumn, winter, early spring with oily skin. I can start using other foundations that I have in my collection that I probably wouldn't reach for as much in the warmer months. So this foundation, it does have a fragrance, and it smells just like other Dior foundations, and the fragrance doesn't linger at all. So I think that this foundation gives a really beautiful finish. And it is a shame that I sort of can't wear this all year round, but as I was saying, I do use it quite a bit in the cooler months. I think for all year round, this would be a really beautiful foundation for those of you with normal to dry skin. It gives a beautiful, radiant, dewy type of finish. And for concealer, I'm going to use the Dior. This is the Forever Skin Correct. And recently I just picked up this new shade. It's too WP. The shade that I normally use is 2.5N, but I wanted to try the concealer with a little bit of peach in it, since I have that discoloration with my veins under my eyes. So the next shade up is 3WP, and I think that one could be just a little bit dark. I still might pick it up because I think this one is a little bit light, and if I mix them together, it's probably going to be perfect. But I do love it that it has that peach undertone, just gives that little bit more of correction. I'm just going to take the BK Beauty, this is the A506 brush, and just tap that concealer in initially, and then I will go over with my fingers, the final step. Primer on, the one that I always use. This is the MAC Paint Pot, and this is in the shade Painterly. I'm just going to powder under my eyes. And for my face today, I'm going to use the Sisley Powder. I'm just going to give it just a little bit of a shake. And for the brush, I think I'm going to use the BK Beauty. This is the 105. And I quite like using this brush because it is dense, and I've probably picked up a little bit more powder than I normally do, and it's only because this foundation is just a little bit more radiant than I normally use. And even though it might look quite matte once I've finished powdering, within about 15 or 20 minutes my natural oils do start to come through. And I'm not going to put on too much bronzer today, but I am going to use the new travel size. This is the Chanel Beiges one, and this is in the shade medium. And I'm going to apply it today using my fingers. This new formula is almost, apart from, I think, the different shades, or very similar to the Healthy Glow Cream that I used as a primer. And even though these do go on, the bronzers, beautifully with a brush, they also go on really beautifully using your fingers as well. So I'm just going to put a little bit on the cheeks today without doing any around here. So just a little bit through here. And when I did a review on these new travel size bronzers alongside the original ones, the larger ones, I use them before putting on powder. But even with the other bronzers, they've always worked for me. I can put it over top of the foundation before powder, or powder over the top, and then apply the bronzer. It really doesn't seem to matter. And for eyeshadow today, I'm going to use a Chanel one, and this is number 202. This is Tisse Camelia. This is such a beautiful quad, and I get quite a lot of use out of this. I think this is a really beautiful color story. So I'm going to start off, I think today, I'm going to start off with this shade here first, and I'm going to put that all over the lid. I'm going to take the Sonia G, this is the Classic Crease, and just go into the shade here. I'm going to stay with the shade. This is the Sonia G. This is the Soft Definer. This is a really beautiful taupe shade. And I'm going to take this under the lower lash line as well. Then we'll take the rephr 14. And I'm going to go into this darker shade here. And just pop some in the outer corner. And I'm going to take it through the crease. I'm going to sort of blend it out just towards the center of the lid as well, and in the crease, and take it just slightly above. Then I'm going to add a little bit of that deeper shade to my lower lash line as well. This is the Sonia G brush, and this is the pencil one. Then we'll take the rephr 02 into this shade and put that over the rest of my lid through the middle, and I'll just take a little bit just up through here as well. This is such a beautiful quad, such a gorgeous colour story, and it can go from a very soft look and you can build up the intensity as well. So I'm just going over again just on each lid just to build up the colour just a little bit. I'm going to take the rephr 3 and I'm going to stay with this shade here, and I'm going to run some of this under my lower lash line as well. Now I've just wiped down the rephr 3 and I'm going to go into this lighter shade, and I'm just going to pop a little bit of this in the very inner corner. Then I'm just going to take a really soft, clean blend brush and just go over the edges just to soften it all out. And for the eyeliner today, I'm going to use the Guerlain one, and this is in the shade Brown Earth. I'm not going to put a lot on, just a little bit in the upper lash line, just to give a little bit of definition there, and just helps my lashes just look a little bit thicker. And I'm not that great at putting on eyeliner, so if you've got a little brush like this, it's very soft but quite dense as well. This is the Chocohodo one. This is the F08. I've got another one as well, but it helps cover a multitude of sins. I nearly always have to go over with this brush just to soften things out. And then I've been trying out a mascara that's new to me, and this is Helena Rubinstein one. This has been around for a long time, and this is the Lash Queen Feline Blacks. There's a couple of others as well. I'll just quickly show you the brush. I've worn this a few times. I think it gives a really lovely look to the lashes. It separates them out. I don't find that it transfers or flakes. And the brush, when I hold it up close in a minute, the bristles are just that little bit further apart than some mascaras. I think that helps separate out the lashes. So I've just grabbed my smaller mirror just so I can see what I'm doing. And for blush today, I'm going to use a Chanel powder blush, and this is number 440, and this is Quintessence. I think this is a really beautiful shade, and the other day when I wore this eyeshadow, I also paired it with this blush, and I thought they went really beautifully together. So I'm going to take the rephr. This is the number 24. I'm just going to pop out the brush that comes inside the palette and just start off quite lightly, and I will build it up if I need to, but I tend to, especially when I use this brush, you get quite a bit of payoff. And for lipstick today, I'm going to do a combination using Chanel lip liner. This is the one in Peachy Nude, and I'm going to put this all over my lips. And then over the top, I'm going to use the Chanel, this is the Balm Essential, and this is in the shade Dragée, and this is back in stock. This sold out quite fast alongside the other shade that was, I think it was called Leeless. That one is still out of stock, but this one is back in, and this is a really lovely shade. And with these, I tend to use them more as a lip gloss that has a little bit of colour in them. I've also purchased another one as well, and that is in a deeper shade, and I'll use it in a future video. First of all, I'm just going to pop on the lip liner. And then I'll just fill it in. And then take the Balm Essential. So I'll just show you what this looks like. I'll swatch it on the back of my hand. With my skin tone going back and forth, you can't really see it that well, and that was the problem I had with it when I popped it on my cheeks as well. I still can use it on my cheeks, and I have more as it's a bit of a highlight just through the cheekbone, but I really love using these as a lip gloss as well. And for the perfume today, I'm going to use the Chanel. This is the Biarritz, and this is a fruity, fresh, it's a really crisp type of fragrance. I think this is really beautiful, and this is named after the town or the city set up her first couture fashion house, and I have seen a picture of that, and if I can find it I'll pop it up here beside me. But really beautiful, fresh type of scent. So I think that the finished look is really pretty. As I was saying, I wore all of these products the other day and I thought altogether it just looked really pretty. I am in love with that Chanel Beiges, the Healthy Glow Cream Rosy Beige as a primer. I think it is an amazing product, and I have purchased 2 backups because it is limited edition. I would really love for this primer to be part of the Chanel permanent collection. I don't think it necessarily has to be in a bigger size, but I just hope that it becomes part of their permanent makeup collection, because for me this is a definite makeup staple. I think that the Dior Forever Natural Nude Foundation is gorgeous. It gives a really beautiful finish, and I love it now that it's cooler that I can wear these type of foundations. As I was saying, it's not one that I really reach for in the summer. I possibly could wear it when it's really hot, but there would just be a lot more sort of fussing around with it and a lot more powdering down of it during the day. A really gorgeous foundation. If you have normal to dry skin, I think you would absolutely love it. And although this eyeshadow quad by Chanel has been around for a while now, I think it is just so pretty on the eyes. But I also want to do a look, not necessarily on a video, but for me, for my everyday makeup, just using these 2 shades together. I think together they would look really, really pretty. And I really like this Chanel blush in Quintessence. I know a lot of people are disappointed with the newer formulas, but the shade of this is just gorgeous, and it picks up beautifully too, especially when I use the rephr 24 brush. Don't have to keep going and dipping back into the pan for each cheek. I think it's a really gorgeous shade, and I love using these essential balms as a lip gloss. These can be, for some people, feel that they are a little bit sticky. They are a multi-use stick. Some people use them underneath a foundation. I wouldn't do that. I would find, for me, with my oily skin, it would just be too much. But I don't use these or tend to all over the cheeks either, although you can for a blush. And when I reviewed this, this is how I put it on. I would use it more just along the cheekbone here. And apparently you can also use this over the top of your eyeshadow. Again, I would think it would just be a little bit too sticky, and I have oily lids anyway, and I think I would just end up looking a bit greasy. But as a lip gloss on its own, it's really lovely. But I like pairing it underneath a lip liner because the gloss doesn't last that long, and if you're out and about, at least you've got some colour still on your lips. And I just pop this in my bag and it's easy to reapply. It's just that the product itself is a little bit thicker, but you do get used to applying it on your lips, and I think these are a really great product as a lip gloss. And I finally got to try the Helena Rubinstein mascara. I think it is a really great product. It separates my lashes. It also lifts them to a certain degree as well. I didn't use my rephr eyelash curler today. It gives volume. It doesn't flake or transfer. This is a really great mascara. And I also did a bit of reading on Helena Rubinstein as well, and she was a really amazing businesswoman. So if you're interested in things like that, I'd definitely take the time to look her up and research her a bit. I'm going to do a little bit more reading on her as well. How she started up her business and then expanded it is really fascinating reading. So that's it for today's video. I would love it if you gave it a like and subscribed, and I will see you next time. Bye.